Awesome, man.
But all right. Hello, how you guys doing? Cali Green 2 Fresh here. I'm kicking it with Jackson from HED PE. And what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing very well, man. Just enjoying the time in California. This is our second date in California here, and we're just loving the weather, man. We're, you know, we've been used to just kind of hanging out in the wintry storms and the just the freezing weather, you know, in the past few days, the past couple tours. So we're really enjoying the sunshine and the warmth. So really thankful for that, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it's also, you know, a lot closer to you guys' home. So
yeah, I was born and raised in Southern California, and so is Trauma, and I know Jared was to a certain extent. But I actually live in Michigan now, so when I come to California, it's a real treat, you know, because you know, not only do I get to see my family and friends and stuff like that, but it's just the weather's just awesome. We got a fro over here. It's just peeking over the fence here. What's up, dudes?
Oh,
what's going on? You want to join in on the reindeer games? No. The fro said no.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway,
maybe we'll get Trauma over here.
Yeah, Trauma's originally from San Clemente, California, which he is very proud to say. And so he's really stoked because he's going to get to go home tonight because San Clemente is on the way to San Diego. So he's going to be able to hang out there and kind of do his thing. So he's really stoked, man. It's just nice, yeah.
Get to see his family.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're all really happy about that.
So you've actually been with the group for about 10 years now, going on 11. How exactly did you become part of the group?
Well, it was just basically through people I knew. You know, HED PE was looking for a guitar player. I happened to be jamming with one of the guys that used to play keyboards for HED PE. His name Kenny the Finger, and we were just kind of jamming around. And one of the other guys named Danny, he was a drummer for this band called Rooster, which is a local band out of SoCal, and he was also friends with BC and some of the other guys from HED PE in the original lineup. And you know, he introduced me to the guys, and you know, during sound check, I must have been playing on some HED PE riffs. You know, I was really into the band at that point, and you know, they needed a guy, you know, to come out because I guess at that point they had parted ways with Wes, and no, actually, they parted ways with Chad. Chad had left, and it was just Wes as a guitar player. So they needed a second guy to come in. So Mark called me up and got my number through Kenny and Danny, and asked me if I wanted to try out, and of course I said yes. But it ended up working out to where they ended up getting Sonny Mayo from Amen and Snot to come in and fill in. So they went with Sonny, and that went on for a while. Wes parted ways, and then about a year went by, and then Sonny parted ways, and so they needed a guitar player again. So Mark called me called me a second time, asked me if I wanted to try out, and he just expected me to sort of tell him, F off, But of course I said yes, So the next morning, I jumped in and went to Jared's apartment, plugged into his little twin reverb, Fender twin reverb, and just played a couple riffs, Killing Time, Waiting to Die, a couple other riffs that I was really familiar with, Like I said, I was a fan, so. I knew the riffs, they dug what they heard. So from there, I just kind of went into the studio, started rehearsing, started playing shows, and here I am, 11 years later.
That's dope. So, what exactly were you doing before HED PE? Were you in other bands, or how did that?
Right. Like I said, I was jamming with my buddy Danny and Kenny the Finger, and we were playing around in some bands and just. Didn't really get to a point where we would start playing shows, but we were doing a lot of rehearsing and just writing and stuff like that. It was just, for me, I was just bouncing around from band to band trying to find the right fit, So I didn't really find anything that was, we've got a walrus here. We've got a walrus humping the glass over here. It's too bad you don't have a camera.
I know. It would have been, get some video footage, but.
But yeah, anyway, we got, so just bouncing around, just kind of, just trying out different stuff, I was going to junior college. I was interested in, getting into graphic design and stuff like that. And, when this opportunity came up, I really just decided, maybe I'll take a break from college and try the touring thing for a while, And so that's what I did,
Good move.
Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, I was really stoked. Yeah.
So, Evolution, you guys' latest album, came out, a little under a year ago. It's very different from anything else you guys you know, have experimented with. It's very heavy, and then towards the end goes into that reggae feel. You know, what exactly was the inspiration behind the writing process of this album?
We were just really interested in trying to go more of like a classic, kind of classic rock approach to like a modern way of playing. You know, we wanted to do kind of like, we were inspired by some of the early bands like the Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, but we really wanted to be like overt when it came to showcasing some of those things or some of those elements in the songs. You know, I just basically, when I went home, I just kind of, all I did was listen to Black Sabbath and watch Black Sabbath documentaries and live footage, all stuff, and I just tried to just soak in as much as I could. And that's kind of the approach I took when it came to writing stuff, writing riffs and things like that. So that was really kind of my approach. And I know Jared kind of went the same route with his vocals and everything like that. So it really kind of came from that. You know, we wanted to do something along those in that vein, you know. So that's kind of where it came from.
Well, it turned out pretty dope, I gotta say. It's actually up for a couple of awards in the underground. I don't know if you know, but right. Fago Lovers, you guys were nominated Best Metal Album of the Year.
Oh, wow.
You guys were nominated Underground Australia Album of the Year. Right. So, you know, it's gotten really good reception in a day and age where they say, you know, you got to come out with something every 6 months, and right. It took you guys 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the longest we've gone without, you know, putting out a record. You know, it's the longest Head PE's gone without putting out a record. So, I mean, we were just so thankful that the fans didn't forget about us, you know. So, yeah, it was great, man. We're really stoked on it. But we didn't want to do it, you know, unless we knew we could do it right. So, you know, a lot of things that kind of happened in between the two records, Truth Rising and Evolution. You know, a lot of changing of this and that, and labels and management and all this stuff that was happening. You know, and meanwhile we had to continue touring. You know, so we could, you know, survive. You know, so, you know, but yeah, it finally came together, and we're really stoked with the product. You know.
So, Pavement Records, how exactly did you guys join up with them? I know you guys were part of Suburban Noise before. You know, there's a little drama going on there, but you know, you guys moving forward, Pavement Records, how did you guys come to be part of that?
Right, yeah. I really can't speak. First of all, I can't really speak on the drama itself. I mean, I know there's definitely some things going on there, but you know, just in terms of what Head PE is looking to do, you know, we were looking at changing directions, and we had already toured with Soil once, I think in like 2012, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, Tim King from Soil, the bass player for Soil, he runs the A&R department at Pavement. So, you know, we knew that organization was there, and we just started talking. You know, him and Jared started talking and really kind of coming together and sharing a vision on what they wanted to do with Head PE, and it just kind of worked out, you know. So that's how we did it, really, and we're really stoked with the results, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what can we expect from Head PE this year?
Well, we're going to tour our asses off, really. You know, we're just going to continue to tour and tour and tour, spread the word, and you know, let people know about Evolution. You know, we're working on, you know, pushing the next single, which is going to be a No Tomorrow, and we're just trying to really put together all the right parts to make that happen. You know, so but that's really the next thing on the horizon. So.
Awesome. So we can look forward to a music video?
Hopefully we can do that. There's a few things we need to sort of put in place for that to happen, but yeah, that's pretty much the goal at this point, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're CarnivalSpirits over here, Juggalo fan group.
Cool, man.
Gotta ask you, you know, they started announcing information about this year's gathering of the Juggalos. Can we look forward to seeing you guys there this year?
Yeah, we'd do it, man, for sure. I mean, I mean, that would be great. We did it last year, you know. I think we missed the year before that. Before that, we did it like 2 or 3 years in a row. And so, yeah, it's always a good time going out there, man. Spending a night out there and playing for the fans. And, yeah, we really enjoy it every time we go, man. So, yeah, we're definitely open to it for sure.
That's awesome. I remember seeing you guys actually at, it was the 2009, the 10th annual gathering. It was your guys' first time playing. And sick show. You guys were playing underneath the tent.
Yeah.
The crowd was loving it. I remember I did a few stage dives.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Man. It was great. Yeah, we loved it. And actually a couple of times we played. We went on at like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. Just played while the sun was coming up. It's just a bit delirious at the time, but it was great, man. We had a great time. If they'll have us, that would be great.
Well, hopefully we can get that going.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so why don't you tell us about your first glimpse at the Juggalo movement? I know that you were a fan a little bit of ICP before, you really got introduced to the entire movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, me and my buddies would go and listen to the ICP records, and we would crack up because some of their songs were so funny, and you know what I mean. They were like, their lyrics were so great, and it was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. So they were like kind of scary, they were dangerous, but they had kind of songs that were also comical as well, And I remember driving around and listening to that stuff, and it was man, so much time has gone by since then, and that was sort of my first exposure to the ICP thing, and then fast forward, I mean, maybe up till 2009 when we first toured with ICP, which was amazing.
Bang Pow Boom tour.
Bang Pow Boom tour, that was huge.
I was there as well.
Oh man, it was a huge tour for us, and that I didn't really understand the how powerful the movement was, until I had actually went on tour with them. And man, what a huge tour that was, man.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, no other tour like it really before or since, and yeah, it was great, But prior to the ICP thing, we had toured with Tech Nine, and at that point we actually did the Strange Noise tour with Tech Nine, and that was actually kind of the first taste we got of what the Juggalo movement was all about, man. I remember the first show we ever played. After we're done, I'm hearing these kids yelling "whoop whoop" out in the parking lots and the parking garage. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? These kids are doing these chants and all this stuff. It was amazing. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, And of course, when we did the ICP tour, it was just like, okay, we get it. These kids are not in the middle, man. They are 100% all the way, And you better have your shit right if you're gonna play with ICP, because these kids are either gonna love you or hate you, and they'll let you know either way.
Oh yeah.
But they embraced us so much, and it was such a cool thing to see. You know what I mean? Especially when you know that if they don't like you, you're gonna find yourself getting pegged with something. Something's gonna get thrown at you somewhere. You know what I mean? So, but it was so great, and they were so cool and accepting of us, and yeah, I have nothing but fond memories of those tours, going out there.
That's
great.
Dope.
Absolutely.
You guys actually have your own little movement, the Truth Movement. Jared did a little discussion about it on the Skull and Bones EP. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the relevance of the Truth Movement today and what it means to you?
Well, that really stems from the lyrics, and that's really his department. I don't write lyrics, I write music. And a lot of the content and everything that comes from Jared specifically, So I really can't comment too much on the Truth Movement, but I know it did stem from a lot of the sort of documentaries and interest in conspiracy theories that really sort of became a focal point in the band around 2005, 2006. A lot of the Alex Jones and stuff like that, And it really did spawn from the 9/11. Situation there too. So I think there were a lot of there was a big sort of emphasis put on what's going on behind the scenes, and really just kind of uncovering a lot of the dark agendas that are kind of going on. And I think since then it's sort of maybe tapered off in the sense that you can only go so far in that direction before you realize, wow, okay, well, there are a lot of bad people out there. There's also a lot of good people out there. And what can I do? If there's anything I can do to change that, to make this world a better place, is there something I can do? And I think that's more about what the lyrics are sort of kind of moving. That's sort of the direction they're going towards, I think, at this point, But, yeah, it was something that was really kind of gaining momentum there for a while, and it really was something that we stood for. But I think Jared sort of shifted his attention to different realities, at this point, and that's really the most I could really comment on that as a guy who doesn't write the lyrics, So
yeah. Well, you guys are currently on tour with Power Man 5000. if I'm not mistaken, you guys did a couple shows with them last year as well.
Yeah, we did a tour with them last year, and it went great, and you know, they were cool enough to ask us to come out again, you know, and so here we are.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I know if I'm not mistaken, Wayne Statick was originally supposed to be part of that tour, and you know, his death had come very shockingly. You know, how did that impact you? I know you guys had worked together in the past a little bit, done some shows and stuff.
Well, he was supposed to be on the tour. We weren't supposed to be on that tour. We had actually, when Wayne had passed, we had actually done our tour with Power Man already, and the tour that the Wayne Statick was supposed to be on, that was actually with Wayne Statick, Power Man, and American Head Charge, and so we weren't even supposed to be on that one, but they did go ahead and do that tour, and so that was their thing, but that was outside of our deal. We found out about Wayne's passing on the last date of our European tour with Soil and American Head Charge. So that was obviously very shocking for us. You know, I had met Wayne once or twice, and I didn't really get to know him, like, you know, very well or be very close to him. But you know, the few conversations I had with him, you know, were very pleasant. He was a really cool guy, you know, very nice guy to me, you know, and I'd heard nothing but good things about him, you know. So, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely terrible when you lose a fellow road brother like that, you know what I mean? When you lose somebody like that, it's terrible, you know. What can you say, you know? So, you know, we can only hope that you know, fans and friends and family find a way to carry on, you know, and do right by his memory, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
So you say you're going to be spending most of 2015 touring. Any chance at looking for, you know, a new album by next year? I know you guys said the longest you guys have gone is that 4-year span. So
right, yeah, I mean, we don't really have a timeline set up for the next record, you know. Obviously we don't want it to be as long as you know, as it took for the last record to come out, but we got some other things on the horizon too. We're working on another entity, another version of Head PE called Dread PE, which is basically, you know, kind of us not only playing older Head PE songs in a reggae fashion and dance hall fashion, but also coming up with some original music that fits that description and that genre. You know, we had a couple reggae songs on the Evolution record, and that's sort of like a kind of a taste of what's to come as well. So we got that on the horizon, and then you know, we also want to continue with the Head PE thing as well, which is doing what Head PE does. You know, so we'll continue with that, but right now we're pretty much just focused on the Evolution thing. We're gonna put our efforts into that, but we definitely are gonna, you know, I'd imagine within the year or so we'll be putting out another record.
So Dread PE,
right?
That's awesome. I got to say that I really did really liked your guys' reggae, like your guys' little spin on it. So that's dope to hear.
Yeah, man, and it's just kind of a natural progression too. Jared has really found himself influenced by a lot of the reggae music, and has for a long time, but I think it's really sort of touched his soul a lot more now than it has in the past. So for him, it's a natural progression, you know. And you know, being in the music industry, it's like, you know, it's very easy to sort of just kind of go with the thing you've been doing and keep going with that, you know what I mean? And that's fine if that's what you're gonna do, but that's not the kind of person Jared is. He needs to feel the fire of something new and reinventing yourself, I guess, is, you know, that's, you know, to use.
It seems like a lot of bands, they like to stay within their own like little, you know, guidelines they have set, but
which is great, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that works for a lot of bands too, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just one of many ways of doing it, you know. And I just, you know, to each his own, really. And but I think for Jared, moving in the reggae direction is just really natural, and that's what he feels, and so he's got to go with it. He's got to go with it, you know what I mean? So that's what that's going to be all about. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see how that comes about.
That's dope. I'm excited for that. You know, you guys have always really kind of embraced the change, because every album has been so different from each other.
It's true, man. It's very true.
Yeah. Does that make it hard when it comes to the writing process, like wanting to switch things up so much, or is it just a natural thing?
No, you know, it's actually, you know, because I like so many different things, and you know, Jared likes so many different things, and you know, Head PE has kind of always been, it's kind of always been difficult to sort of categorize us, you know. But that's a good thing too, because we found ourselves on tour with Tech Nine, we found ourselves on tour with Mushroom Head, we found ourselves on tour with Papa Roach. You know, the Head PE thing can fit in with so many different things, but there's this other side of it where it's like, well, why they can't fit in this nice pretty little box either, like where do we, but that's, you know, it's, so I guess it could be good and it could be bad depending on how you look at it. But when it comes to writing, it makes it so much more fun, because I don't have to just do one thing. I can do this. I can do this little hip-hop riff here. I can do this little metal riff here. You know, I can play a solo. Or I don't have to play a solo. I can play some concise metal riff here and there. Not to say that I do that, but I can do it if I want to. Or I can play a punk rock riff. You know what I mean? So the you know,
gives you creative freedom.
It's great. It makes it a lot easier for me as a songwriter. You know.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
there really needs to be more groups, honestly, that kind of just embrace the change. You know, like I love it. I love what you guys do. Like I said, I've been a fan for 20-something years now.
Right on,
so
man. Right on, brother. Yeah, you know, I'd say the only time it becomes a challenge, really, and this is not a bad thing, but when we're playing live, if I'm going from a metal song to a hip-hop song to a reggae song, each genre needs to be approached in its own unique way.
Yeah.
So I have to switch my approach in a song's notice. You know what I mean? Just within a few minutes between the song. So that, to me, is a challenge as a musician, but that's why I love it. Because I love a good challenge. You know? So it's great. It's great, though. I enjoy it.
Well, you have anything to say in closing?
Thank you to the fans. Pick up Evolution. It's out now, and you know, if you have a zip code, you know us. If you have a zip code, we'll be there. We're always out there on the road, so chances are we'll be somewhere in your neck of the woods here soon.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is Cali Green Too Fresh, Carnival Spirits Ninjas in Action, and yeah, you guys make sure to check out Head PE. Check out Evolution. It's fresh. You can pick it up. Pavement. Is it PavementMusic.com?
Yeah, Pavement Music. Yeah, Pavement Music, Pavement Entertainment. Either way, they'll find that site. They just type in those.
Google it.
Yeah, you'll be good. You'll be good. Yep.
Google it. You'll find it. Make sure to check them out. They're on tour currently with Powerman 5000. Yeah. Cali Green Too Fresh. Always keep it wicked fresh. Peace.